stupendous, and all the endless times they say it. Also, while some of the matches from both nights of WrestleMania were understandable, making this another two-night format, a lot of the others suffered from, oh shit, we fired so much talent, hire as many celebrities as possible, which in turn made WrestleMania break records here on most celebrity matches. Also, I was so glad to return to Dallas, the site of my first WrestleMania, but did we really have to keep going down the return to this city route because others were somehow not available? Shall I expect us to return to Orlando, MetLife, and New Orleans within the next 3 to 4 years? Probably, since I called this return back in 2018. There are literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 WrestleMania logos in this shot, and one of them is made up entirely of CGI. 4 logos of WrestleMania wasn't good enough, so we had to add in a 5th one? Also, a big problem with the CGI graphics, as pointed out by Mama Maracle when she was watching from home. They are so in your face about it that you could barely see the stage a lot during certain entrances, and you're left shouting, "Get out of the way, I'm trying to watch the fucking show." Good God, and here I thought the entrance cave from WrestleMania 33 was tiny as hell. This entryway is so tiny that a lot of wrestlers probably had to duck just to get through, or in AJ Styles' case, hit your head and get cut open. Let's take a look at this stage for a moment. Obviously, it's way better than the stage in 2016, which was little to nothing. But it looks like WWE tried to stand this star up and it kept falling over until they gave up and said, fuck it, this is how it's gonna look. Oh my God, Charlotte Flair got frozen in time. Somebody help her!
For these WWE superstars.
Mark Wahlberg sounds like he didn't get paid enough to do this hype-up promo, but even this is a better performance than that terrible attempt at portraying Victor Sullivan in Uncharted.
You see, greatness can be hard to track down.
Why are we advertising Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns when that's not even scheduled until tomorrow night? We should at least be showing off what's going down tonight.
The big-time fight. The open-a-can fight.
Mark Wahlberg and his never-ending puns to each of the matches he's advertising tonight. Big time, open up a can, my head is hurting so badly.
Most spectacular, astounding, breathtaking.
Does the word stupendous really need to be mentioned in a build-up before you actually say it? You've been saying it for months at this point.
Stadium in Dallas, Texas.
Can't they at least be right and call it Arlington, Texas? Because the AT&T Stadium is outside of Dallas, not in it.
To over 70,000.
Over 70,000 fans would sound impressive if you weren't in the exact same stadium that hosted 101,000 plus fans in attendance. And the place was jam-packed as well. What's your excuse about that, Michael? The last time the Dallas Cowboys cheerleading team appeared on stage at WrestleMania, it was to promote The Rock's big entrance. This time, they're there just because. The fact that Pat McAfee gets his own spotlight during Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance just made this a lot more entertaining and hilarious. First center mover of the night. With how much of the barricades have been turned into LED walls, it's only going to be a matter of time before everything, even the floor at ringside, is LED in some form. Shinsuke Nakamura's non-pyro. We couldn't even have given him some pyro for WrestleMania? Come on, guys, do better next time, will you? Wow, way to treat the bloodline so badly. Guarantee Roman Reigns is not happy seeing the Usos' entrance get cut off by the recap of SmackDown. Also previously on WWE. Man, I'm getting distracted at the amount of WrestleMania logos we're seeing. Because of the LED added into the walls, there are 6 more WrestleMania logos in this shot. How many more logos do we need to see in order to figure out we're at WrestleMania? Shinsuke Nakamura is mostly making noises and not doing much of any damage to Jimmy Uso here. Awkward. No one cares what's trending, but I'm more shocked that the #1 trend isn't stupendous compared to WrestleMania. Jey Uso wasting valuable time with the We The Ones taunt when he should be continuing the onslaught of Shinsuke Nakamura. Didn't the Usos easily lose to this team, which is why we're here in the first place? Because of underestimation?
He's a multi-time Intercontinental and United States champion.
Michael Cole listing off Shinsuke Nakamura's accomplishments when he already did that less than 2 minutes ago. Next to constantly saying stupendous, you seriously can't come up with anything else to say about WrestleMania?
Main event, Jey Uso.
We're still calling Jey Uso main event? Ever since Jimmy Uso joined up with him in the Bloodline, Jey has been anything but main event Jey Uso. Hell, we're in the opening match of the first night of WrestleMania.
Opportunity to win his first championship here.
Even though he was under a different name and not many of us give a shit about it anymore, Rick Boogs is actually a former 2-time 24/7 champion. So he actually has won championships in WWE. Just putting that out there.
Jimmy, and Jimmy's caught his hole.
I send all my well wishes that Rick Boogs recovers quick from the quadriceps tear, but I also hope that when he comes back, he does less and less of showing off the power game like that, because I feel so bad that this injury caused a quick change of pace in the match.
Jimmy up to the top rope. Oh, and a kick out.
Shinsuke Nakamura survives the first Uso splash only to succumb to the one and done literally a minute later. I guess that means the Uso splash has been demoted. Rough start to WrestleMania 38 and this is only the first night.
Here the Dudleys won.
What was Shinsuke thinking by waving his hand during the pinfall? And if he had awareness and strength, why didn't he kick out? I thought he'd be unconscious or something. There are so many promos hyping up matches taking place tomorrow night that literally last over 5 minutes each. And as a result of that, WWE had to literally postpone a match to the next night, which turned into absolute disaster. Here are 5 sins because WWE really needs to get their shit together when it comes to promotions and timing.
The man who's been undefeated.
Funny how WWE didn't hype up Happy Corbin as an undefeated individual until this one match involving Drew McIntyre just so we could see him lose. Sorry, but you're kinda late to promote that.
Right about Drew McIntyre's wife, Mom.
Props to Pat McAfee for pointing out that Happy Corbin dissed Drew McIntyre's deceased mother, not his still alive wife. Pat should join me on CinemaSins 2 Expansion. Drew McIntyre has menacingly pointed his sword at pretty much everyone, but not once has he actually connected the weapon. You don't have to make it a legitimate sword, but threatening to use your sword as a weapon doesn't work out if you're never going to actually use it in the end.
Loves a good slug.
Drew McIntyre hit the corner so hard he accidentally broke the pyrotechnics machine attached to it. Might explain Madcap Moss's woo, unless he's just trying not to be the next Ric Flair.
A little choppy to start the evening.
Man, I could listen to Pat McAfee all night long. A big shame of being at WrestleMania in person is that you don't get to hear his epic commentary. But since I can right now, it's enough to remove a sin.
Physical specimen.
Drew barely moved Happy Corbin any further than a single step toward the barricade. I'm not sure if that was supposed to hurt Happy as much as we think.
What you got?
Happy Corbin trashes Drew McIntyre by yelling "what you got," then proceeded to give him instructions on what to do next. Big change of heart all of a sudden?
You know, this is the biggest match of the year.
Match of the year. Instead of telling Madcap Moss to get off of the apron, the referee just stands there wondering what she's supposed to do. And she's an experienced referee too.
You didn't want this to happen, Matt.
Who the hell is Matt? Michael, I don't know if you figured it out, but Matt Stryker left the WWE close to a decade ago.
What's the end of days? McIntyre kicked out.
Man, a lot of fans fail to realize that Drew McIntyre kicking out at the end of days is actually a big deal, showing he's capable of handling that deadly maneuver, fueled by Happy Corbin's comments about his deceased mother. What an awesome moment at WrestleMania.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Well, thanks a lot, Drew. Now because of that, we gotta postpone the rest of Night 1 to tomorrow and have the first ever 3-night WrestleMania event. Also cool as it was to see Drew destroy the ropes with a sword, was the sound of the pyrotechnics really necessary? Seriously, if you're in the stadium, sitting so close to the stage, doesn't it feel weird to see Drew slice the ropes off and the noise is heard to your side?
Don't get away from us, Drew. No way.
Yeah, like Drew McIntyre was about to slice either Michael or Pat in half. It's not like they did anything wrong. Michael Cole probably had war flashbacks to Brock Lesnar after WrestleMania 31. Damn, 2 years in a row that The Miz has been in a match involving celebrities. In this case, it's Logan Paul. Also, I'm honestly shocked that Logan Paul didn't go after Kevin Owens instead, considering he received a brutal stunner from KO the last time he appeared at WrestleMania.
With the greatest fighter in the world.
What The Miz failed to mention about Logan Paul's fight with Floyd Mayweather is the fact that it was the most obviously scripted boxing match in the history of boxing. That was shit that even Vince McMahon would say, "Are you serious right now?" No fair, Rey Mysterio had a head start over his son.
Schedule 4.
And here we got a cameraman tripping all over the place and shaking the camera at the audience, breaking away from the entrance of the Mysterios. Jake Paul in the background.
Here we go.
Corey Graves is really getting on my nerves with his Michael Cole-like creepy erection for The Miz. I swear that Michael better not have given him lessons on how to be horny over The Miz.
The most successful crossover.
What in the hell happened there? Was Logan Paul trying to tickle Rey Mysterio or something? Or did he turn into a video game glitch for a moment? How about instead of pointing at Logan Paul to tag him in, you, I don't know, just tag in Logan Paul? Man, 7 years of doing these videos and here I am practically begging Logan Paul to be tagged in at WrestleMania. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think that tag is legal, given Logan wasn't even hanging onto the tag rope in the corner.
The assist of The Miz.
I don't know what's more annoying, Corey Graves constantly kissing the asses of Logan Paul and The Miz, or Byron Saxton constantly whining like a fucking bitch.
Full son Dominic. Whoa!
Impressive split, but Logan missed his cue and reacted too early from Rey's kick. Hoping the match picks up later because this ain't a good start.
This is what you have to be ready for.
This is one of those examples of moves that look great on paper but are poorly executed in reality. Right here, you got Dominic Mysterio barely hurting The Miz at all, not to mention Rey's legs accidentally getting sandwiched.
Look at this, 2-for-1 special.
The only thing that happened to Logan right here was Dominic taking him for a joyride by spinning him through. Other than that, The Miz took 100% of the damage.
A lot, Dominic not done yet.
Damn it, Miz, you were supposed to be a step closer so that Dominic could land on you at the right moment. Either that or Dominic should coordinate that corkscrew moonsault a lot better. Logan Paul doesn't realize that he's actually in the wrong corner. Other side of the ring, you freaking moron.
When we have the other side. Miz is off.
The Miz trips Rey Mysterio off the apron, and the one thing Rey does is slowly approach him instead of attacking him instantly. Haven't these guys been feuding for a few months by this point?
power slam. To the cover hook.
The spinning formation into the cover is creative on the part of Logan Paul. Unfortunately, it causes his opponent's shoulder to be off of the mat throughout the pin.
How many followers does Rey Mysterio have on TikTok?
Yeah, because TikTok followers totally proves who's a better wrestler in the ring, Corey. Shut the hell up already.
Opportunity to cheat. Who cares?
Are we positive that Corey Graves married Carmella a week later? Because it sounds to me like he's already married to Byron Saxton the way they're arguing.
Logan Paul and The Miz working together.
Alright, that was a great combination of counters by the Mysterios, a super kick to Logan, and a small package to The Miz. Meanwhile, on this far side of the stadium,
In the fresher athlete.
Logan Paul not only brought the most expensive Pokemon card to the ring with him, but he also brought his abilities to use the Force on his opponents, as demonstrated right there.
Paul's performance. Oh, wow. Disrespect.
Whenever it's Rey Mysterio, it's a tribute to Eddie Guerrero, but when it's a heel opponent, it's a sign of disrespect to Eddie Guerrero. Y'all never know. Logan Paul probably could have been an Eddie fan growing up as well. I'll honestly remove a sin because he executed the Three Amigos perfectly. The dude clearly cares. Honestly, WWE's best decision was to have Logan Paul portray a heel because he can clearly absorb the hatred with that wicked smile on his face. This never would have worked if he was playing the good guy in the match. Dominic Mysterio really needs to have better timing on his moves and breaking up pinfalls, wouldn't you agree? Go back to training, kid. You were clearly called up too early. Let's be honest, hater of Logan Paul or a fan of Logan Paul, it was freaking awesome to see that double 619 connected on him. Guaranteed that was an exciting honor for Logan. Scroll-crushing finale. Jimmy Smith clearly has been watching Captain Marvel recently. It's a good film. Also, in the words of my fellow loser who was with me, Connor Riley, The Miz with the ultimate face turn in WWE history. That was awesome to see the skull-crushing finale to Logan Paul, proving nobody can trust The Miz, even in victory. Logan Paul takes a skull-crushing finale and no-sells it 20 seconds later, like it didn't even hurt him at all. Important rule in wrestling here is sell moves. Don't listen to know-it-all gymnasts who tell you selling moves is a myth. Since I was in the stadium, I wanted to point out that they accidentally leaked Stephanie McMahon's name graphics during the promo video for Edge and AJ Styles. Yet when she makes her actual entrance, they don't use the name graphics at all.
Gable Steveson!
So Gable Steveson wins an Olympic gold medal, signs with WWE, gets drafted to Raw. We don't see or hear from him for half a year due to him finishing up college, and after he arrives here at WrestleMania, we still don't see him for at least another few weeks. Like, are we gonna debut this so-called big deal or what? Holy shit, this event refuses to take us to the next match. It's already been nearly 10 minutes since the previous match, and we haven't even started building up to the next one. Cut out all the unnecessary commercials and promos in between matches, and we can have enough to go back to a one-night WrestleMania. WWE's crazy obsession of showing as many logos as possible continues, as we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more WrestleMania logos in this one camera shot. I guess Becky Lynch heard all the reports that her new haircut made her look similar to Black Widow and thought, let's parody the Marvel Cinematic Universe for my entrance. Given how the multiverse is unleashed, I wouldn't be shocked if this was also technically canon in that universe. These CGI graphics are really going overboard. Move out of the fucking way! I'm trying to watch the entrance! Damn, first the MCU parody intro, and now Becky Lynch parodies Batista's entrance from WrestleMania 35, who, funny enough, is also canon to the MCU. Maybe Dave is actually in that car and we just can't see him because he becomes invisible when he's really still. Man, everyone is parodying entrances from previous WrestleMania events tonight. First we had Becky Lynch parodying Batista from WrestleMania 35, and now Bianca Belair parodies John Cena's entrance from WrestleMania 24. I'll keep Triple H's motorcycle on standby just in case Roman Reigns ever wants to use it.
The Texas Southern University.
Jimmy, I know this is your first time appearing at WrestleMania, but when a customized entrance is being performed, it's the commentator's job to shut the hell up and let it play out. Talk when Bianca Belair is actually heading to the ring to her music. Not gonna lie, Bianca Belair had quite the creativity with her outfit by having her entire top be a pair of lips. Shocked it took her this long to come up with that, but it's still cool.
Big time!
Gosh darn it, Mike, the voice crack thing doesn't work or sound catchy when you say big time Becky Lynch. Got it? Doesn't have the same energy as Tony Chimmel's voice crack for Rated R Superstar.
Raw Women's Championship.
Thank you, Byron. We already heard the same thing from the ring announcer, the CGI graphics, the promos, the referee holding up the title, and the other commentators about this match being for the Raw Women's Championship. Too much standing around.
Oh, going back. Oh!
Nice callback to SummerSlam, I'll give them that. But come on, did you actually think we were going to fall for Bianca losing to Becky that quickly again? Also, WWE has honestly got to focus on the ring instead of constantly switching over to the fans. All I'm saying is that they've been doing it one too many times in recent weeks.
Again, quick work. Hey!
Becky Lynch does know that Bianca Belair isn't exactly going to stay down from simple stomps, right? right?
There, trying to make it 2.
That could have been a great counter by Becky Lynch. Unfortunately, it looked more like Bianca rolled through the DDT as a counter compared to getting planted.
Completely at ease right now.
Well, no offense, but being at ease is the worst strategy Becky could use right now, given how she's letting Bianca rest and recover from the onslaught.
Which of these two women makes the first mistake? And look at the strike.
Ask and you shall receive, Corey Graves. Both women made the first mistake by botching this feat of strength moment.
2 and a reverse.
Hilariously enough, this sequence happens twice, and in both occasions, the referee nearly gets decapitated when the legs move.
Oh, leg right across.
Congratulations, Becky. You just made Bianca flip over and whack you in the back of the head with her legs. All according to the plan, I presume? Here we go. Let's take a good long look at this part of the stadium, and oh my god, show 6 more logos of WrestleMania! And here I thought the word stupendous would be the overused part of the show.
Takes control. Or does she?
What on earth is even going on? Becky Lynch flips forward on her own accord before Bianca Belair could even make it look like she tripped her up. Is this match fun so far? Girl, That is how she says it, correct?
This is where legacies are forged.
You can clearly see Bianca signal for Becky to leap up. Their coordination is really lacking tonight, I'm telling you. Damn, this moment summed up to a reaction like, holy crap, they're almost to the top rope. What's about to happen? Oh my god. Oh, it's just that.
The early storm from the champion.
What?
Went to the throat again.
What?
Oh, knees up just in time for Bianca.
Wrong. That was Becky Lynch who put her knees up, not the other way around, Jimmy. At this point, I'm just hoping to see something good before this match ends. Sorry, but that was a poorly timed yank into the ring post. By the time Bianca hit the apron, she was nowhere near close enough to make it look believable. I'm wondering if anyone else noticed how botch-filled this match really is.
What a win for Big.
Bianca Belair takes a manhandle slam on the steel stairs and is nearly unconscious, but the moment the referee says 9, she's suddenly back up and running. What she should have done is struggle to get back to her feet and at the last millisecond put enough of her body back into the ring to beat the count. Becky Lynch is so frustrated about not being able to defeat Bianca Belair that she forgot about her own disarm or submission hold, which hasn't been locked in once yet. Haha, you slipped. Looks like the ice cubes that were in the ring at NXT Stand and Deliver earlier today somehow made their way to AT&T Stadium. Without melting, too. This is why we cleaned up ice. Can we honestly give it up for Seth Rollins? He had literally no opponent to feud with heading into WrestleMania and was still one of the most entertaining build-ups for the entire show. It's one thing for Bray Wyatt or John Cena to feud with The Undertaker by themselves, but Seth had no one to feud with literally until his opponent was revealed. I'm removing 10 sins because Seth doesn't seem to get a lot of credit for this masterpiece storytelling. Although I will add in a sin because WWE missed out on a big opportunity. Last time WrestleMania was in this stadium, he was forced to watch on the sidelines. His desperation should have also came from that haunting memory of 2016. 7 more logos! That's gotta be one of the weirdest choirs I've ever seen for an entrance at WrestleMania, and I love it! Sure as hell was better than that choir for John Cena's entrance back at WrestleMania 27. Literally 90 seconds of waiting around. Oh, maybe that's why it took forever for the pyrotechnics to erupt. Seth Rollins' coat being thrown to the guy outside was the pyro button. You know, I thought this was gonna suck. I actually did. But the moment the American Nightmare variant of Cody Rhodes showed up in WWE, pretty much stepping through the multiverse, I realized just how freaking epic this was. So let's take off another 30 cents because this was amazing to see.
Has competed in a WWE ring.
Well, I know it's been 6 years since Cody Rhodes was in a WWE ring, but how long has it been since he's been in a WWE ring, Corey?
Now just this.
Cody Rhodes, I don't want anything to do with Stardust ever again. Also, Cody Rhodes does the Stardust taunt in the first minute of his return match.
In 6 years.
Seth Rollins just standing around, not doing anything after knocking over Cody Rhodes one time.
To the outside.
Ouch! No doubt that suplex over the top rope could have been catastrophic for all the wrong reasons, but thankfully it was catastrophic for all the right reasons. What happened there? Did the cameraman see Hornswoggle underneath the ring and quickly moved his camera then realized he was just imagining things? Normally, Cody hits his opponent's gut with that kick, but here Cody chose to be a dick to Seth's freaking Rollins and somehow got away with it. I guess the referee was still in disbelief that Cody returned to WWE.
Welcome back to the big leagues, bitch!
And just like that, thousands of keyboard warriors threw endless temper tantrums over the rarest, and I cannot emphasize the word rarest enough, shot at AEW. Take a joke, guys. Yeah. That awkward boom said by Cody after taking that shot to the gut. I'm sorry, but Seth had to back up several steps before backflipping over the announce table in that sequence.
Rhodes now! Oh!
So, was that supposed to be a moonsault and Cody merely lost his balance, or was he intending to hit a crossbody on Seth? Either way, Cody's the one who collapsed to the ground first.
From the steel steps! Oh!
Man, I guess we were too entranced by the fact that Cody Rhodes returned to WWE after creating AEW and completely missed the many botches that took place during his actual return match itself. Damn you!
A nightmare!
Probably should have had a cameraman on the other side of the scene because the commentators accidentally blocked the view of the action.
Into the height.
Then seize it already! Want to know how I instantly figured that Cody was going to counter the curb stomp? Seth Rollins never attempts to connect it with his left leg, always his right. Seth Rollins leaps for the Phoenix Splash and his opponent always moves out of the way, cliche. It's a kick-ass move with a stupid-ass name like Cody Cutter. Sounds awfully close to Cookie Cutter, but I'll still take a send off because it was perfectly done.
Cody can barely stand.
Even though Cody is standing without struggling whatsoever. Don't know what match you're watching, Corey.
Shuts him down.
Seth Rollins is so frustrated at Cody Rhodes that he starts swatting nearby flies away from his head. Exciting match and a big welcome back moment for Cody Rhodes. The energy in the stadium was electric for sure. Damn, showing a shitload of WrestleMania logos wasn't enough? Now you're showing 6 total Hall of Fame logos in this one shot. Did we really need the CGI addition where there's 5 others already present? Okay, the entrance alone was amazing and the moment was surreal to finally see The Undertaker as part of the WWE Hall of Fame. But WWE just had to ruin it with this poorly rendered CGI graphic of him. Might as well give it 10 sins. Not everything needs a CGI graphic attached to it.
Ordinary Hall of Fame acceptance.
Corey, just shut up. Mentioned this earlier in the video, but that has to be the most awkward attendance for a stadium that seemingly hosted 100,000 plus fans 6 years ago. Unnecessary outdoor fireworks are unnecessary. The retractable roof was closed during this, so nobody at the stadium could see it. Why didn't they open the roof? It was so warm outside.
I'm either going home with your arm, or you're gonna tap out.
Isn't that practically the same thing? I'm either going home with your arm or you're going to tap out. No disrespect, but Ronda Rousey could definitely use a manager like Paul Heyman to speak on your behalf, because that was terrible.
Can Charlotte make Ronda Rousey tap out?
If that's the big question about Charlotte Flair's match with Ronda Rousey, then why wasn't this match made into a submissions match? Missed opportunity.
Has never been taught how to quit.
Pat McAfee says that as though there's some class called Just Quit at Everything. Perhaps there is, given wrestling fans seem to give up almost instantly on everyone.
WrestleMania is presented by...
We had to show the advertisement outside the stadium because we're scared that Christian Miracle would see it and sin us for it. Huh, interesting how I still saw through that. But also, skip
13-time.
Charlotte Flair is actually a 15-time women's champion, not a 13-time. 6 reigns as Raw Women's Champion, 6 reigns as SmackDown Women's Champion, 2 reigns as NXT Women's Champion, and if you want to count this, 1 reign as Divas Champion. If you don't count the NXT Women's title, then that's being hypocritical as it's more of a women's title than the Butterfly Divas belt. Now, come on, how cool would that have looked if the audience could actually see that?
These two do not like each other.
Oh really, Pat? What tipped you off that Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair don't like each other? Was it the trash talking, the cursing, or the fact that Charlotte insulted Ronda's baby?
And Ronda again looking for a triangle here.
Well, if Ronda is trying to lock in a triangle choke, she's not doing it right. Her legs aren't even locking Charlotte's hair.
5 count. Ronda can...
Normally, referees count faster than that when it comes to the 5 count for disqualifications. Here, this referee takes a sweet-ass time counting Ronda, probably because he doesn't like Charlotte. 7 more freaking logos! Charlotte Flair, in her attempt to bring down Ronda Rousey, briefly turned into Akira Tozawa back in 2016.
Whipping her across her body and now a knee.
I'm not gonna lie, instead of a regular move, Ronda Rousey should have considered that sudden knee strike as a signature move, because it looks powerful enough to knock out her opponents and it can come out of nowhere like an RKO. What a shame.
I don't think this match can get much more even.
If this is what you call even, then I guess it can't get any better, since this hasn't been a good showing so far.
By Rousey. Ronda said no.
Wasn't Charlotte supposed to go down the other side of Ronda? Why isn't this match anywhere near as good as their encounter at Survivor Series in 2018?
For decades, Ronda's been... Charge!
Ronda was watching Charlotte the entire time and somehow didn't see that spear coming? How?
A lot of people hate the Yankees, the Lakers, the Patriots.
True, but we can all agree on one thing. This boring match was still far more entertaining than anything that traditionally takes place at AT&T Stadium.
For the moonsault.
Whoa.
Didn't...
I might as well throw in another 10 sins because Charlotte just can't seem to ever get it right when it comes to that moonsault counter. Normally, practice makes perfect, but Charlotte goes the complete opposite direction.
To put Charlotte...
Ronda's really got to stop asking fans for a souvenir before locking in her armbar because it's an easy escape as demonstrated by Charlotte Flair.
And Ronda, wow, what a scoop slam.
That wasn't a scoop slam, Michael. That was yet another arm drag takedown. It's easy to tell because Ronda's been doing it all match long. Unfortunate moments of wardrobe malfunctions is the big reason why the women wrestlers should reconsider wearing these skimpy outfits.
Look at her knee!
This was actually an epic moment where Ronda Rousey was trapped in the figure eight, but that epic moment was instantly tarnished the moment Charlotte had to literally shake her leg to remind Ronda what to grab in order to reverse.
Charlotte snapping, it looks like.
Ronda was trapped in the figure eight leg lock for quite some time. Why is she not selling the effects literally 15 seconds later? Did Seth Rollins teach her how to sell or something?
Now, Flair gets her foot on the bottom rope.
If the referee already saw that Charlotte's foot was on the bottom rope before he even hit the 3 count, then why did he complete it just to fool Ronda? Man, this match is stupid.
The figure eight again. Oh, and oh!
The referee gets knocked over at the crucial point of the match cliche, and it was a brutal landing too, with his head hitting the turnbuckle. Makes me question how he was back up seconds later, meanwhile other referees barely get grazed and have to be taken to the back. That big boot never puts away any of Charlotte Flair's opponents, yet it was able to easily put away the once undefeated Ronda frickin' Rousey. That logic doesn't make any sense. I'm not kidding, if you put together the amount of commercials and unnecessary promos in tomorrow's matches, that's literally a runtime of 38 freaking minutes, and I am not counting any entrances, custom or otherwise. And it was because of this that a match had to be pushed over to the next night. That's your own stupid fault, WWE. 38 sins for 38 wasted minutes of quality showtime. Who would have thought feuding with Stone Cold Steve Austin completely by himself without Stone Cold making an appearance would actually grant Kevin Owens the main event of WrestleMania? Kudos to him, honestly, because this has been an epic feud. Holy shit, you seriously didn't advertise the shit out of Snickers enough in the previous match?
I'm gonna bring him out when I want to.
Kevin Owens somehow hasn't realized that Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't give a shit about when it's his turn to show up. He shows up whenever he wants to, kid. I'm pretty sure it's just a funny coincidence that Stone Cold Steve Austin is out here with his ring gear and knee pads on. Pretty sure. It took Steve Austin a good 2 minutes before he realized that he left the stove on backstage and burned down the catering room. Only Stone Cold Steve Austin could casually destroy property in front of the owner, and it would look hilarious to get us in over.
And I'm not here for a fight. I just want to have a nice chat.
Bruh, this is Stone Cold Steve Austin we're dealing with. He ain't gonna fall for the cliched "I'm not here for a fight" lie.
The land is flat.
Who told you that, AJ Styles?
I brought you out here to challenge you to a match.
Judging by the ring gear, I'm pretty sure that Stone Cold Steve Austin already figured that part out, hence the not surprised look.
Bring me down again, ref.
I find it both hilarious and awkward that Stone Cold hesitated in his words to ensure he doesn't take God's name in vain as he calls for a referee.
There's the bell! Here we go!
The reaction in that stadium when the bell rang to start Steve Austin's first match in 19 years. This is the main event of WrestleMania Saturday, and it's impromptu. And for once, I will let it slide and remove 19 sins.
Owens whipped hard!
Kevin Owens trying to be a discount Shawn Michaels and failing miserably. Guess the power of Texas is stronger than KO would like to admit.
Owens with a big reversal. Austin Hardy to the barricade.
It's a good thing that Steve Austin continued the onslaught after that throw into the barricade because, man, that was terrible and slow on the part of Kevin Owens.
Oh my God!
I gotta take off another 5 sins because Steve Austin deserves all the praise for willing to take a suplex on fucking concrete at his current age. And the fact that he walked away without any serious injury to his neck, at least I hope, shows how dedicated he still is after nearly 20 years of not wrestling.
Oh yes!
Haha, the table didn't break.
Guys, it looks to me.
You're competing in the freaking main event of WrestleMania, bro, against one of the greatest of all time in Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you are good with accepting a count-out loss?
That's ATV.
Come on, dude, I'm also from Canada, and even I know how to start up an ATV. I've ridden on those things before.
Easier for. Oh my God!
For once, I'm stuck in limbo. I don't know if I should add in the copyright infringement sin or not. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Just do it. They won't hate you for it.
On it. Oh!
Winner of WrestleMania 38 to bring you that one hilarious NXT takeover where Kyle O'Reilly accidentally whacked himself in the face with a chair. Whichever one that is, I can't remember. This was a great moment and a fantastic celebration afterwards. I'll go ahead and take off another 20 sins. This was a long freaking video, and we still got another night of WrestleMania 38 to go.